Hi Peaches, it's me Peachy Julie, and today we're talking about something crafty. If you know me, you know that I love crafting, and it's not just one thing, it's several hobbies that I have at the same time. Today I'm going to kind of expose myself and show you some projects I've been working on for some time while picking up some new projects. Yeah, vicious circle. I don't have that many. I've been feeling like I've been working on the list of unfinished projects and I've been getting rid of some that have been sitting in my head, but there are still some that will take a while to complete, and I just want to show you to get some motivation, and also maybe you can relate to this problem or luxury that I have of having several projects at the same time. I'm not going to have them in any particular order. I'm just going to bring whatever I remember. I think I have about 9 unfinished projects, but there might be some pieces and bits here and there in my little closets. I don't remember about them. I'm going to start with the sweater that everyone on my stream has seen. I've been working on it since I believe November of 2024, and now it's July 2025 and I am about to finish it. Like literally the last step. And it's probably the problem of all the crafters that do anything with fiber arts, weaving in the ends. I hate doing that. And also sometimes I feel like I don't do it correct, and I do tie things up sometimes, but I also want to weave in the end just to make sure. I don't know. If you know some good ways of weaving in the ends in knitting, I would love to see that, because for me, it doesn't work. So this is the inside of the sweater. I'm going to just show you how much I need to weave in, and I will tell you what the problem is. So beautiful, right? It was until I realized that you don't have to cut off the ends. Unfortunately, it took me quite a while to understand that you don't have to cut the ends, but you can just knit the last 2 threads together and just choose the color that you want to work with. And look how neat this looks. Compared to this, I mean, it does look special. It looks like a fringe of some kind. But I am just dreading the moment that I force myself to sit here for 3 to 4 hours, just pulling the threads through the needle and putting them and being upset that it does not stay there. I'm editing this video the 19th of August and I still have not done that. I don't really know what to do. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. But I'm going to flip it around and actually show you what the sweater is. Some people say it looks like chocolate mint cookie or chocolate mint ice cream, and I do totally agree with that. So here's the sweater. I do see that there's a little bit of inconsistency in here, but I think that it looks pretty good. Let me stand up for you. Also, one of the problems that I have is that I also learned how to make the stitch a little bit neater and better and tighter. So on one of the sleeves, I have mastered my purl and my knit, and on the first one, it's like a little bit wonky. But if you look at the other one, it is, I think, much better. It is much straighter and neater. But the problem is that I think one of the sleeves is longer. Well, the looser one is longer. But, you know, I am hoping for the magic of stretching the fabric. You know, from afar, it doesn't look that bad. But if you are an experienced knitter and you come up close to me, don't. Look me in the eyes, okay? Don't look down there. My eyes are up here. Don't look at my twisted stitches. Don't. I just have to weave in. So yeah, I just have to weave in the ends. Yeah, also I forgot to say that I did not use any pattern to come up with this. It was straight out of my head, And if you're interested in a pattern but already the improved version of it, just let me know. I will make it and I will post it here because that was easy, but I don't know why it took so long. Next one is a thing that also everyone knows on my stream, something that I'm passionate about but takes ages to complete and also brings me a couple of cents every month. That is my Stardew Valley cross-stitch project. It is a full map of vanilla, I believe, spring Stardew Valley map, the pattern that I have made and posted on Etsy. And some people buy it and I have good reviews for it. Like, I really did not expect it to go that well, but it does take quite a while. Especially with me having several projects, I don't feel quite right just cross-stitching all the time. So I switch between projects and this one is taking a while. I started it a year ago and I started very confidently with the desert. It was quite fast because it's basically like 2-3 colors. But now with the forest, it's a big mess. Like, if you purchase the pattern, the only area where I advise you to pay a lot of attention is this, because you might think that this is just one color, but it is actually several colors in one. And from afar, you can see that it represents a forest. I will never forget you. I will finish you one day, okay? I have quite a lot of cross-stitching projects, so I'll move on to the other one that I have started and I have not finished it yet. I think that I started it about 3 years ago, so don't be mad at me. And I love looking at it and I love working with it, but it's difficult to work with. So this is a picture of 2 wolves. You cannot see the second one. It's not in there yet. That I have bought 3 years ago when I was not even married to my husband. And he liked wolves. I'm not even sure if he likes wolves anymore, but this project is still in the works and it is from a very good brand, Dimensions, and I love this brand. I love working with the thread and I love working with this canvas, but the thing is that I'm not really used to black Canva. It is quite difficult to find the correct lighting for me to craft in. In this apartment, I have not even tried to find the correct lighting. It would have to be some direct light so I could see through the Canva into the little holes, and I potentially also need to buy like a little screen or have something white behind it so I could see. But I will come back to this eventually. I'm really dreaming of finishing this and framing it one day and putting it in our house that we might even buy one day. But also, I did not show you the final product that it would be. This is the picture that it would be. I think it's very adorable. It shows beautiful love between loyal creatures. It's beautiful. The thread is the best one I've ever worked with. Like, if I have a chance to buy a Dimensions cross-stitch set, I do that, and I would definitely recommend you. It is pricey, but actually not too expensive compared to other cross-stitch kits with lower quality. There is some small crochet project that I started a long time ago for my craft market that I had 3 months ago, and I never finished it because it felt like too much. I was making lavender, roses, and other flowers daily, and I have a lot of them. But there was one flower that I've dreamt of making and I never got to it, and it is Iris. There's the picture of what it was supposed to be, and here's how much I've done. I've made only 1 petal, but look how intricate it is. I mean, understandably, if you know anything about crochet, that is easy, but it took so much yarn. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to put it aside and I'm just going to make it either for me or for someone that I love. I also made a leaf, so maybe that is good. But also there is a center with a little yellow thingy. It consists of 4 or 5 petals. And that is too much yarn to charge it 4 or 5 euros. It is pretty, but no one is going to buy it. Next one is an oldie but a goodie for me. Also almost a year since I started making it. I say it like I've been working on it all this time. No, I worked on it for a week and then I started another project. But this project associates to me with starting to play Palia because I remember showing it off, and also watching Gilmore Girls. Like, this is such a Gilmore Girl project for me because I was counting the stitches and figuring out the pattern as I was watching the first episode of Gilmore Girls. I've only made the front panel because I always have an idea of making a tutorial or a pattern, and I always put things aside until I can do that, and it's been a year, so I think it's high time to get to that. So as soon as I finish that cursed sweater with all of the weaving in, I'm going to continue with this, because I think it has a right to exist. This is the front panel of a mesh top that I created out of several tutorials, and I was dreaming of making it for spring, but then I was getting ready for the market and I didn't have enough time. It's also a little bit oversized, and by a little bit I mean a lot, because look, it's so much wider than my shoulders, but I feel like with the curves that I have, that is just the perfect size. And of course I will have to make the sleeves. I was dreaming of making bell sleeves, and I'm still thinking of how to do it. The main idea for me now is just to make the back panel for now. Next one is a project that I'm not sure I'm going to continue because it's been kind of too long and it is not even for me. My colleague has asked to make her some beanie that she found online, but she was not sure if it was going to look good. It looked pretty cheap. So here's the reference picture. I was asked to try to duplicate it, and here's how it turned out. I think it's pretty similar. Good result. And I had some yarn left, so I offered to make hand warmers for my colleague with the leftovers of the yarn that I had in the same stitch that I had for the beanie. And here's how much I've done. She has tiny hands, so much smaller than mine. It has to be very tiny like this because it's also going to stretch. And even though the project is literally just going row by row and finishing also in a ribbing, so as I was getting ready for the market and then being busy with my projects, I kind of forgot about it, and I hope that my colleague forgot about it. I don't think I can make it. Well, maybe one day, but I'm not sure if she wants it. So maybe for her retirement party, I'm going to bring her the hand warmers that I promised. Okay, moving on to the next crochet project that I have, and it's relatively new, and I started this on stream as a way to try out something new. And this has been a trend on TikTok for maybe like 6 months already, but I'm kind of late to it. And it is I call it filet crochet. And if I say chicken fillet and filet crochet the same, I am so sorry. Crochet, filet, crochet, but I'm not sure which language it comes from, so I'm just going to say a mesh crochet. Okay, so here is the starting mesh that I've made, and you literally cannot even tell what it's going to be. Actually, me neither. I think that like somewhere in the middle of the project I have changed the way that I made stitches. You can see how wobbly they were at first, but later on they became pretty sturdy. So here's the pattern that I'm using. I found this pixel art picture on Pinterest and I just copied it in my pixel grid. The thing that I'm not sure about is how I am going to turn it into a piece of clothing, because I can make two panels. What do I do next? I was thinking of making little ties on the sides and connecting them here at the neck, so it could be a thing that I wear over something like this. I'm not sure. I still have not figured it out, but it's with many projects that I start, especially if they're like free-handed, if they're not by tutorial, I come up with it as I go. And if it does not turn into a pretty top, then it will turn into a pretty tablecloth or a picture that I hang or something that I I put onto my sofa. Like I will always find a way to use it, but I would really love for it to turn into a top anyways. Of course, with my confidence, I thought that it's going to be a summer top, but it's already the end of July, so I don't think this summer. But I'm going to Turkey this October. Who knows? Maybe I can finish it. Don't look at me like that. Next thing is a literal failed project of mine that I have already given up on, but I still keep it in my drawer just because I feel like I cannot save it, but also I cannot let it go. It is a coaster that I started making for my husband's birthday a week before the birthday itself, and it turned into a disaster because I used Tunisian crochet for the first time, and I decided that it would be nice to use it as a cross-stitch canvas. It did not work out. But that is the coaster that I've been working on, and maybe from afar it's not that bad, but if you look at the stitches very close, you can see that I didn't know where to put my needle. I tried to also fill in the background, but I realized that I don't have enough yarn. I am almost done with a pumpkin, but I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it ever. No way I will find pleasure in this myself. And the last thing that I'm going to show you is something that I've been working on, also not really hard. I planned to make it before my wedding because my wedding was in Istanbul, and I thought that I would wear it while I walk around Istanbul that was blooming at that time of year. And it was connected to daisies, my favorite flower. In my beautiful mind, I thought that I could make 150 of these pretty quickly because what is it? It is a granny square of 3 colors, yellow, white, and purple. And then I would connect them. And then I would make it into a vest. Boy, was I wrong. I spent a month or 2 slaving away every second of me being awake. And I used to work like 8 hours a day. And don't tell my school that I worked at, and I worked at an online school. During my lessons, I was doing this in the background sometimes when my students were busy. Okay, I have made around 100 of these. I still have the yarn for it. I still have all of them packed somewhere and put away out of my eyes because I'm so annoyed by it. I have a lot of them. It's crazy. Not all of them are finished. There are some circles, there are some flowers. It's just insanity. A year ago, I was like, okay, it's time to finish it because it's annoying me. And I started doing this. I made 2 or 3 of these squares and I was done. I'm like so annoyed by it, and then I decided to see how it would look together. So I assembled a pattern on the bed and I put those squares together. And now I'm thinking about 100 squares. Like, what am I supposed to do with it? I want to make a vest, but I don't want to connect them. So I have thought of something illegal. If I ever finish all of those squares, I'm going to sew them together on a sewing machine. And then I will also have to be able to knit the collar probably and knit the shoulder parts. But here are all of the exposed projects that I have in the background. Actually, it's so much less than I thought it would be. But also, let me bring 150 of these squares to you. That is going to be much more. After finishing the sweater and then continuing with other projects, I'm also planning to knit a vest and make several hats for my streams. So stay updated. Maybe like a couple of months later, I'm going to show you all of my unfinished projects, and the list is going to be more than 9. Well, now all of my projects are on the floor because I cannot keep them in my hands. So that was my first craft related video, and I hope you enjoyed it because I did. I love talking about my projects and I love talking about something that I'm going to make or I have made in the past. So if you have any ideas of what I should talk about next time, let me know. It can be something craft related or anything related. I hope you can relate to that, or actually I hope you don't relate to that, because then that means that you are very well put together, very determined, motivated to finish the projects that you already have and not start new ones. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.